Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi 4 tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we can continue this little series of hidden divs here. Yesterday we did this sort of float in from the side little div here that reveals when you hover over it. Today we're going to do sort of pop-up FAQ from the bottom, exactly the same way of doing it. It's another hidden div. We've just got to put it where we want it. We're going to be using a bit of custom CSS today for this, but don't let that put you off. I'll put any code that I write below the video. You're welcome to use it and manipulate it any way you need to. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is enable the visual builder, and I'll get rid of what we've got going on here. So while that's loading, I'll go into my custom CSS box, which is on the dashboard, Divi, theme options. We're under the general tab and we're down at the bottom. I'm just going to erase this bit of code that I put in there and save those changes. Okay, now we've got our visual builder loaded. I'm actually going to go into wireframe mode because I can't access that very well. Well, I actually can right here. I can do it. If you can't access a module once you've moved it, you can go into the little purple button here, just hit the wireframe mode, and it takes you to the back end version where you can access things very easily if you've got a problem there or if things are stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to get rid of our call to action, which is this one. That's our slide in from the side one. I guess I'll leave that one there. Let's just save this. Okay, now let's go back to our desktop version, little desktop icon right there. Let's go down and let's build us a new section. I'm right at the bottom here, the little purple button. Usually a blue button, but this is a specialist section like one of those. So I'm going to add a regular section, the blue one right here. I'm going to have one column, one row. And all these modules come as standard with Divi. Obviously, I'm using an awesome Divi theme here. If you want to take it for a test drive, you can do so from my affiliate link below this video. Okay, I'm going to use a call to action today because I want to use a button. So I'm just going to left click on that. And let's put in a title of questions or something like this. Whatever you need to put in there. I'm going to use mine as an FAQ, and on the because I want to use a call to action module because I want the button, and we're going to have to manipulate this button a bit. And the button text, I'm going to say FAQ, frequently asked questions. And in the content here, I'm just going to paste some lorem ipsum, just like a bit of almost like question text, if you will. Obviously you'd have some content to put in yours. I don't. I'll just left align this, I believe. There we go. Okay, so we've got that. And where's our button? We've not put a button in there because for the button to appear you need to put a link in. So we're on our content. I'm just going to close up the text box. Let's open the link. And the button link URL, I'm going to give the section itself a class of bpop for bottom pop-up. You can give yours whatever you want as long as it's unique. So actually when you click on the button, it goes to itself. So it won't actually do anything because the hover effect is going to bring it up where I want it to. So the button's really not going to do a whole lot. Okay, I want it in the same window. Not going to have a link for the actual module itself. If you wanted to link this to a product or a service or an external site, you can do so. Okay, let's save that. Now then, what I want to do is I want to pop this button right at the top here. So it's above our actual blue section here. And firstly, I'm just going to style it a little bit. So I've got the styling that I want, because at the moment it's just got a white border and text there. So let's go back in here and style that button quickly. I'm going to go down to the button. I'm on the design tab. I'm going to have the button on the left. And I want to use custom styles for the button, so I'm going to flip this on. Text color is fine. Button background, I want to make sure that it's blue. That's fine. And border color, I want to make that blue too. Kind of disappeared into the background there. And I'm going to give it a little bit of box shadow. I don't want the little icon there. You may want to, so I'm going to flip mine off. If you want to keep yours, just leave it to yes and choose one of those great icons down there. Don't want any text shadow, but I do want a bit of regular box shadow, so I'm going to put that one on there. There you can see our button nicely there. Now Divi does have a little box for the CSS ID and classes for the actual button, but it doesn't work with negative margin. Promo button, there it is. If I was to put margin top, say of minus 500 pixels, it should jump up by 500 pixels, but I don't think it's going to work in this little box. I think we have to target the wrapper, so let's say 500 pixels. Yeah, that button's not moving with that, so we've got to do a bit of custom CSS, which is really easy. So let's save what we got here. We'll save our page changes, and I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. Now I'm using Google Chrome here because of fantastic inspector tools. Let's go down to our little section, our module that we've been working on right at the bottom here, and I'm going to use the Chrome inspector to do some custom CSS. I want to pull that down a bit so I can see what's going on. I'm going to right click and hit inspect on the button itself. Let's pull up this inspector so we can see what's going on. And there's the actual button, but there's the button wrapper, which is what we need to work on to make it move. And the button's hidden there, but I'm going to just add it here, and I'm going to say margin top, try 650, and that should have popped that button up here somewhere. Oh, it's popped it down minus. We want minus 650, not just regular 650. We got a negative minus 650. So look, there's our button up there. That's fine. Looks like it's gone a little bit too far. I think we're going to have to do a bit of readjusting in a moment. So let's leave that there for a minute and we'll readjust it. I'm going to copy this bit of code from the dot to the end of the 650. I'm going to go into my custom CSS box, dashboard, Divi, theme options, general tab, down the bottom, custom CSS. And I'm going to paste that code right in here. You can give it a title if you want so you know what it is, pop-up box. And I need to put a closing curly bracket on there, because whenever you've got an opening curly bracket, you need to put a closing one on there. Okay, that's fine. And I guess I'll put a little title in, because when you've got a lot of code in there, it just makes it easier to find if you've got a title. So it's // back up, and in between the two stars you can type your title. Let's save our changes. Let's go back to our site here. Let's get that out of the way for a moment. I want to go back into the module. I'm going to make this module, give it a height so we can still see our questions and everything, because at the moment it's kind of shrunk it up for us. So let's enable the Visual Builder. Once loaded, let's go down to our section. There it is. Let's go into the actual section itself. Cog. I want to go to design. I want to go to sizing. Width. Well, I'm going to make it. Let's make it say 450 wide. That's fine. You can see it's down here. That button's changed. And height wise, let's try 600. Let's just make sure that it's going to fit all that text in there with 600. Let's just make sure we got our background color of blue in there. Oops. Actually, I don't want that on the background. I don't want any color on the background. So let's take the opacity all the way down there. Just save that. Let's go into the actual blog module itself. Make sure we got that blue background on everything. Which we do. And let's give this a minimum height also. Let's say 500. Almost. Gosh, there's a lot of text in there. There we go, that's done it. That's fine, and I need to take my button up by about another 100. So let's do that. Back to the theme options and make that 750. Save our changes. You won't see it until I refresh this, it'll stay there. But let's just save this and I will do a refresh. So let's save that. Save our page changes. Now it's saved, I can do a refresh. Back down to where we were. Great. Okay, so now we've got it looking like we want. We've got to actually position it where we want. So let's go back into our section. I'm not sure. I've got to check it's not got that white background because I don't want a background on there. I'm going to go into the section and we're going to pop it down to the bottom there. So we'll go to Advanced, Custom CSS, Main Element, and we're going to say Position. And you might see it disappear when I do this. Fixed, and it's gone. That's fine. Semicolon. And we want to make sure it's on top of everything else, so I want to give it a fairly high Z index. So let's give it a Z index, Z-index of 999. That ought to do it. And I want to put it right on the bottom for the time being. So I'm going to say bottom, and you'll see it reappear when I do this. Colon 0 semicolon. So you can see it's appeared right there, and now it's stuck to the bottom of our site here. But we want to push it down so that just the button is visible. So let's go back to our design tab, put it where we want it. So we need to go to spacing, to margin, and we want the bottom margin to have perhaps negative 650. We'll try that. Ooh, no, we need a little bit more. Try 750. Not quite, a little bit more. We just want to see the button. We don't want to see anything else there. So let's try 800. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, if we wanted, we could give it an extra 50 here. Just pop it up a bit and we'll leave that where it is. So let's say 800 there. This is our custom CSS box. Save changes. And you won't see any change here until we save this. Okay, so this is going to reside there, or actually it's going to be a little bit up when we've changed it. But when I hover over it, I want it to be in a normal place. So if we go up to margin right here, when we hover over margin, these icons will appear. Go to the little arrow. You'll have a desktop and a hover button. Let's hit the hover button. And for the bottom margin now, let's just put in 0. And as you can see, it pops up to where we can see it. So that's exactly what we want. Let's save that. Let's now save our changes. to the page. When they're saved, let's exit the Visual Builder. And as you can see, that's popped up by another 50, which is fine. And it's going to stay there when we scroll down and up the page. And it should be on top of everything else because of that Z index that we gave it. And when you hover over it, it's going to pop up so you can see it, and you can make these clickable. You can have links. You can still scroll while you're on the top of this. It's quite a nice little feature to have. You let go of that section and it'll disappear down the bottom again. So there is how to have a sticky hidden pop-up section on the bottom of your website. So there we have it. I hope you found that interesting and useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in web development, take a look down below. We've got some great free web development courses down there, as well as some premium courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers, so do check it out. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.